Recorded Books and RB Digital present The Wheel of Time, the Shamans of Ancient Mexico, Their Thoughts About Life, Death, and the Universe, by Carlos Castaneda. Narrated by Luis Moreno. Introduction. This series of specially selected quotations was gathered from the first 8 books that I wrote about the world of the shamans of ancient Mexico. The quotations were taken directly from the explanations given to me as an anthropologist by my teacher and mentor, Don Juan Matus, a Yaqui Indian shaman from Mexico. He belonged to a lineage of shamans that traced its origins all the way back to the shamans who lived in Mexico in ancient times. In the most effective manner he could afford, Don Juan Matus ushered me into his world, which was naturally the world of those shamans of antiquity. Don Juan was, therefore, in a key position. He knew about the existence of another realm of reality, a realm which was neither illusory nor the product of outbursts of fantasy. For Don Juan and the rest of his shaman companions, there were 15 of them, the world of the shamans of antiquity was as real and as pragmatic as anything could be. This work started as a very simple attempt to collect a series of vignettes, sayings, and ideas from the lore of those shamans that would be interesting to read and think about. But once the work was in progress, an unforeseeable twist of direction took place. I realized that the quotations by themselves were imbued with an extraordinary impetus. They revealed a covert train of thought that had never been evident to me before. They were pointing out the direction that Don Juan's explanations had taken over the 13 years in which he guided me as an apprentice. Better than any type of conceptualization, the quotations revealed an unsuspected and unwavering line of action that Don Juan had followed in order to promote and facilitate my entrance into his world. It became something beyond a speculation to me that if Don Juan had followed that line, this must have also been the way in which his own teacher had propelled him into the world of shamans. Don Juan Matus's line of action was his intentional attempt to pull me into what he said was another cognitive system. By cognitive system, he meant the standard definition of cognition, the processes responsible for the awareness of everyday life, processes which include memory, experience, perception, and the expert use of any given syntax. Don Juan's claim was that the shamans of ancient Mexico had indeed a different cognitive system than the average man's. Following all the logic and reasoning available to me as a student of the social sciences, I had to reject his statement. I pointed out to Don Juan time and time again that whatever he was claiming was preposterous. It was, to me, an intellectual aberration at best. It took 13 years of hard labor on his part, and on mine, to discombobulate my trust in the normal system of cognition that makes the world around us comprehensible to us. This maneuver pushed me into a very strange state, a state of quasi-distrust in the otherwise implicit acceptance of the cognitive processes of our daily world. After 13 years of heavy onslaughts, I realized, against my very will, that Don Juan Matus was indeed proceeding from another point of view. Therefore, the shamans of ancient Mexico must have had another system of cognition. To admit this burned my very being. I felt like a traitor. I felt as if I were voicing the most horrendous heresy. When he felt that he had overcome my worst resistance, Don Juan drove his point as far and as deep as he could into me, and I had to admit, without reservations, that in the world of shamans, shaman practitioners judged the world from points of view which were indescribable to our conceptualization devices. For instance, they perceived energy as it flowed freely in the universe, energy free from the bindings of socialization and syntax, pure.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.